In a city of anthropomorphic animals, a rookie bunny cop and a con artist fox must work together to uncover a conspiracy.
Hi, my name is Andre.
I'm Michelle.
I'm Emily.
And I'm Luis.
And we're the Walt podcast. We're a podcast about Disney movies. Welcome to the Walt Vault, episode 9.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas. You know, a lot of podcasts, they decide to take the week of Christmas off. Not us. Here at the Walt Vault, we're giving you episodes every week, no matter what holidays or events or birthdays or anything.
You're going to get 2 holidays in a row. You get your Christmas, then you get your New Year's.
That's
and
right.
You'll get an episode on both. Feel free to not listen on Christmas, though. Pay attention to your family.
You can watch it the day after.
Hey, play this podcast for your family.
Ooh. Make sure that this one is the I don't know. We don't have crazy episodes.
Yeah.
Never mind.
We're fine.
We're not that crazy.
Play all of the episodes for your family. The best gift to give on Christmas
Give the gift
is
of
the Walt
Vault.
Vault.
Every gift begins with a Walt Vault.
Anyway, today we're here to talk about the movie Zootopia. Zootopia, the 2016 3D animated Disney film.
I thought it was 2015. It was only 2016.
2016, yep.
That wasn't that long ago.
It was not. It was almost 2 years ago.
Oh, true.
Almost.
It's almost 2 years ago now.
Yeah. Came out March 2016. Early March.
2016.
Yeah.
Yeah, so almost 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Nice. What was your first impressions on Zootopia, Andre?
I love this movie. This movie is fantastic. I think before this viewing, I'd only seen it once in theaters, and I loved it in theaters.
Yeah, we saw it in the theaters together.
Yes. But I didn't remember. Like, I loved it when I saw it, but I guess I just never went back to it. And going back to it this time, I'm mad at myself for not going back to it more after my first watching.
I saw it once in the theaters with you, and then I saw it a couple of times on Netflix. I feel like it's been on Netflix almost since it got released on DVD.
Probably.
So I do frequently watch it on Netflix. This is probably like the 5th time I've seen this movie.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Possibly. What did you think about your first impressions of Zootopia, Luis?
It was very good. Me and Ems, we watched that movie like about 4 or 5 times pretty in rapid succession as soon as it came out. So I was kind of like over it at that time.
Yeah.
So in between the last time we watched it and this time we watched it, it was a good length of time that it made me relive pretty much the reasons why I liked this movie in the first place. So that was a pretty good thing watching it this time. It is definitely one of my favorites. Not my top 5 though.
Not top 5.
Not his top 5.
Not top 5.
Not top 5. But high up there.
Yeah.
Top 10? We're not counting that far.
No.
Okay. That's fine. I think it might be top 5 for me. It might be.
Ooh.
I'm not sure. I'm not going to get into my top 5 because I don't
I'm not going to
I don't have the patience.
make myself have to pick a top 5 because that's like impossible.
Yeah.
Because I literally like almost every single Disney movie.
There's
so
a lot of
I'm
them.
going to have like a favorite princess movie and like a favorite Pixar movie. And like that's it. Because it's way too hard to choose.
Yeah.
I feel like you're going to have a favorite for each one of the movies, and you're going to create your own category just so that one could be your favorite.
Oh, yeah.
in each one of those
This is my
movies.
favorite movie with animals. This is my favorite movie with fairies. Like this is
With fairies.
with a mythical being.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm just going to make my own categories.
This is my favorite movie with the actor who plays Don Draper.
I mean, even if you go like, this is my favorite movie with Johnny Depp in it, there's still like 6 movies.
Quite a few Disney movies that
Yeah.
they're all pirates and Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, exactly.
So, you know.
There's 2 of those.
Anyways, we're talking about Zootopia.
That's right.
We always get so off topic, guys.
I'm always on topic. I don't know what you're talking about.
So this movie
Me too. I'm always on top.
this movie I'm very upset because Nick Wilde and Judy Hopps are super, super cute. And every time I go to Disneyland, they're never there. Like, I always see people taking pictures of them. Luis and Emily have met them in Disneyland multiple times. And whenever I go, I never see them. So where are they hiding? I need to see them.
I don't know.
I need a picture with Judy Hopps.
We've only met them once, and
Only once?
only
Where were
once.
they?
They were in that back.
Where are
corner.
they?
Where are they? Where are they? Where's the yogurt?
Oh my goodness. But they're so cute.
Sorry about that, but no, they really are pretty cool. We saw them in the northeastern corner of California Adventure.
Northeastern
Northeastern
corner,
corner.
everyone.
Facing Disneyland, you know?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But like what was over there? What was around it? What was nearby? I don't know what
it
the,
was
what's
pretty
in the
much where the
northeastern
Mad
corner.
Hat Tea Party was
Okay,
or something like
there
that.
we go.
Yeah, up in that corner where they had the Muppets Theater. It used to be there, and now like
Right.
the new theater where they show the previews, that's where it's at.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha.
Gotcha.
Well, I'm going to have to hit them up one time because they're
Heading
super
straight
cute.
to the northeast corner.
Like, my first impression of Judy Hopps is when she's a kid and she's doing that very eccentric play about how Zootopia came to be. And she's like, blood, guts, blood and guts, bleh. And I was like, oh, you get it, girl.
Yeah.
She's quite funny.
You know what? I wonder if that's where they always go in Disneyland, that northeastern corner, because right before we saw them, hold on, I'm trying to help you out here.
Okay.
Right before we saw them, we were actually, right before we met them, we saw them, and they were leaving. But then I believe we asked one of the cast members, like, hey, you know, why are they leaving, blah, 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 and they're like, well, you know what, come back in a X amount of time, they should be coming back out here to the same spot.
Okay.
So who knows? I mean, I'm told from several sources that certain characters have certain spots in the park where they go and it's pretty typical. You'll find
Hang
them
out.
there.
Yeah.
If
That
any
makes
of our
sense.
listeners know where to find Judy Hopps and Nick Wilde in the parks, hit me up one time.
If any of our listeners are Judy Hopps or Nick Wilde from the parks,
Hey,
hit us up.
what?
Michelle,
Oh, that'd be crazy.
I'd love to talk
Michelle,
to one of the
I
characters.
just
What?
kind of told you where you could find them.
I know, but I never see them there.
Well,
Maybe they don't come in the parks anymore. Maybe they only did it like when the movie first came out.
That's possible, but this movie did very well at the box office. So I'm kind of surprised that they aren't more available in the parks and stuff like
Yeah, it
that.
has a 98% on Rotten Tomatoes.
It has a 98% on Rotten Tomatoes, but not only that, it is only the second Disney movie to cross $1 billion in its box
What?
office totals. Yes. So
Total?
yeah.
Right?
So total, that's domestic and foreign. It made most of its money in foreign markets. I made like $600 million foreign and like $342 million
That's a lot.
domestic. But it crossed $1 billion. The only other Disney animated movie to do that is Frozen.
Really? Not
Well-
even Moana?
Well, I think it's funny. We were trying to talk about this, but we were trying to not talk about it before the podcast started. But I think that part of the reason that a lot of people haven't seen this movie, which
Right.
I feel like I can't say that if it made so much money in the box office. But a lot of like adult friends of mine who might go see Disney movies have not seen this one, and I think it's because of the way they marketed the movie originally.
Yes.
We were talking about how the only thing we remember seeing was like a commercial with the sloths at the DMV.
Yeah.
But
That's
that
the only thing I remember.
and that's not really a good representation of this movie at all, because that's one very small piece, and they're not even a main character in the movie.
Right.
You know?
That's just that one scene.
Like one
basically.
scene.
And I read it to us. One of the sources I read said that originally when this movie was written, it didn't. Nick was supposed to be the main character, not
Yes.
Judy,
I read that.
and
What?
it was more focused elsewhere about his relationships. And so when they were marketing, like when they do pre-marketing, you know, like a year in
Mhm.
advance or whatever, that was their skew. And then
Because it was probably like, well, we got to use this.
yeah, and then
Right.
they did a total like overhaul on the movie. So
Ah.
really, when you feel like the marketing wasn't towards the movie, it really wasn't towards the movie that we saw. Like
Right.
the end,
Interesting.
the representation really isn't for that movie, which I'm kind of glad because I love it the way it is.
I honestly wasn't even going to go see this movie in theaters. Like, just from the preview with the scene with the very slow sloth at the DMV. Okay, we get it.
Right.
And that scene had got overplayed so many times that I remember when that scene came on, when I was in the movie theater watching it, that's when I went to the bathroom.
I'm looking on YouTube right now, and the
Just saying.
the Zootopia sloth trailer has 20 million views.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, Marvel Infinity War broke that in less than 24 hours.
Flash, 100-yard dash. Flash is a funny character, though. Let's be real.
Yeah,
He's cute.
it's a funny scene. It's just that we all saw it before the movie came out.
Nick.
That yes. That's Luis is now an old man and sloth. Get it. Who do you like better, Judy Hopps or Nick Wilde? I was like having a hard time with that.
Oh, with which character you like more? Huh. I don't know.
Because they're both main characters if you think about it.
Yes, they're both definitely main characters. They're both on the poster.
I feel like Nick Wilde's hair, like the animation, his hair looks like so lifelike and so vibrant that the whole time we were watching the movie, I was like, I really want to pet him. I want to pet him.
She's saying that about a lot of characters. Like,
I'm
my
sure.
God, they look so soft. I want to pet them.
I'll be honest. I think I like Judy better because number one, Judy's hecka cute.
She is.
And I think, I love Nick. I love his sassiness, but I like her because she's way nicer than he is.
Right.
But she's able to dish it back at him.
Yes.
One of my favorite scenes in the entire thing is where she puts a boot on the stroller. On a stroller, and she does the multiplication in her head of his felony tax evasion.
Taxes.
And it's the look on his face is like, oh my God, she just got me. And he thought that she was just gonna be like, you hurt my feelings, but she really was like a really good
She
cop.
held her own in the face of
the
a
little
fox.
thing, whatever the heck was in the stroller, was
It's
like,
it's a fennec fox.
it's a fox. Okay,
Yeah.
I thought it was a rat. I did not know
What?
what it was.
A rat?
I didn't know what it
That's
was.
a big rat.
Anyways, she's like, she hustled you.
She hustled
Fool
you
working with the
hard
police.
with the fuzz.
That dude was
The
so
fuzz
funny.
butt.
The fuzz.
That
Well,
guy was
speaking
great.
of
It's a
fuzz,
hustle,
I wrote
sweetheart.
down all of the different names that I heard people call her because she got so many little like crappy names
Yeah.
called to her.
Carrots.
Carrots. We got rabbit, fluff, fuzz, bunny bumpkin, carrot face, farm girl, fluff butt, dumb bunny, fuzzy bunny, carrots, cottontail, and flatfoot.
Oh my goodness.
I think I like carrot face the best one.
I like fluff butt and bunny bumpkin
Bunny Bumpkin is funny.
because that really does like
She's from a farm.
that's what they
Yeah,
thought she
she's
was.
a country bumpkin.
Yeah, I mean, like
Poor
when she
Judy.
first like gets into the academy and she gets instated, and you see her like walking up with all the rhinos and the elephants. I'm like, oh my God, she's like not even the size of their foot.
Right.
Like, it's
She's
really
tiny.
sad. She's so tiny. Oh, Judy Hopps. Oh, I thought Luis was gonna say something because he looked real inquisitive, but nothing came out of his mouth. So.
No? Okay. In terms of Judy versus Nick, I think I also like Judy more than Nick. Nick is, once again, great. I love his scams. Like
Yeah,
the
he's
whole
funny.
the
The
whole popsicle scam is fantastic. It's brilliant because not only is it's not even hurting that much. You know, it's not hurting people that much. Those little hamsters or whatever getting their popsicles.
Num.
But also he recycles. He's using all of his resources that are humanly possible. He melts all the popsicles by just holding the stick up in the sun. It's great. But I think I like Judy a little bit more, just because of like her get up and get 'em attitude. Like she's a go getter. She's a very hard worker. And
she's a bunny Tiana.
and it pays off. Like she gets the job done no matter what the job is. I'm not 100 tickets. I'm gonna write 200 tickets before noon. She's great.
She is a BA for sure.
A BB. A bad
However, yeah,
A bad bunny.
bad bunny.
bunny. She's a bad bunny.
I really like Nick because he's a fox, and I know that's kind of silly, but
I mean,
we have this like ongoing inside joke with our daughter Adeline that her spirit animal's a fox. So every single time I look at or I see Zootopia and I see Nick, I'm like, that's Addie's spirit animal. I like it best.
Little sly fox. I like Nick Wilde the best because I feel like he's misunderstood. Like, Judy is like, you spent your whole life just being a con artist and you're amounting to nothing and you have $1 million and where did this $1 million go? I don't know. But I feel for him, like when he's telling his story to her about how he was bullied when he was a kid and they said that nobody could ever trust a fox and they put a muzzle on him, and then it just broke my heart when these little foxes crying.
Yeah, he just wanted to be a little Cub Scout.
He didn't want to be a Cub Scout and they don't want to hang out with him because he's a fox.
Yeah.
That's wrong. They were stereotyping him. So I feel like I really connect with him, and then really all he needed was somebody to be like, get it together, Nick. And Judy definitely did that for him.
Right.
And by the end of the movie, I mean, like, his character development was... They both had character development. But I like his better for some reason.
Sure. Yes. While I was watching the movie, I Hogwarts sorted the two of them.
Of course you did, Mr. on a Harry Potter
and
street.
As soon as I saw Nick's popsicle scam, I categorized him as a Slytherin because
they're scammy, apparently.
Because they're very cunning and they do what they have to do to get what they want, and they're very smart, and
snake-like
rules are like whatever,
rules are like
and Judy, I had to think about her for a little bit longer, but she's definitely a Gryffindor.
Gryffindor.
I think she's a Gryffindor because she's very tiny yet extremely brave. She gets up and gets what she wants. She's very demanding about what she wants as well. Not like a Hufflepuff who's pretty nice about it, or a Ravenclaw who is just smart about it. She's a go-getter with the heart of a lion.
I think that's a really good segue into something we were also talking about before the podcast started, which is kind of like the archetypal characters and how a lot of themes were brought up in this movie. Either like Andre just said, Judy's probably one of the smallest characters in the movie, besides the lemmings and the mice and stuff. But she's
Mr. Big.
And listen, let's talk about Mr. Big, my favorite. But like, she's the smallest main character, but she has the biggest personality and almost the biggest amount of courage.
Right.
But so like archetypally, that shows a lot for like story development. But also, it also shows a lot about like prejudice and how the different characters viewed each other because they're predators or prey, or because of their size, or because of where they come from.
Right.
And I think that's a really interesting thing that takes this movie to a whole new level. Besides just being cute or being really well animated, it takes it to a whole nother level socially, I think.
Yeah, this movie, it's kind of crazy because it hits on a bunch of different levels. It hits on those social levels. It's also like a crime drama. It's it's a hilarious comedy. And it's like a super fun movie about all these anthropomorphic animals, and it puts all those very different things together like really well. It's very smartly written. I was thinking that throughout the whole movie.
Very smartly written.
Very smartly written. I love the twists that happen. I love all of the characters. Like there's nobody in this movie that I was like hating on or anything like that. I think that is why this is one of my favorite Disney movies, is because it just hits on all those levels.
Yeah.
Very hard, all of them.
You didn't dislike any of the little side characters? I disliked one, and I'm going to get hate about it.
Go for it. Who do you hate?
The Shakira giraffe. It was so...
She is a gazelle. First of all.
Her name is Gazelle.
Obviously, I didn't care about her that much because I thought she was a giraffe. Okay, well,
There's
she's
like
a gazelle.
8 feet of distance of neck between a gazelle and a giraffe.
You know, I didn't like her that much because, I don't know. And I didn't like that song she sings at first either, although it just did grow on me and I like it now. Yeah, that. But my favorite part, okay, so I have 2 favorite side characters. Number 1, they don't even have any names, but they're awesome. The 4 tiger backup dancers that dance with the gazelle at the end. And they're super sparkly and sassy, and they got the hip rolls. They're like, ooh, ooh, I'm a tiger, ooh, ooh.
They're great.
That was hilarious. I loved them. And then my other one, which I think Emily's going to agree with me because I heard her say she liked it, was Mr. Big.
Mr. Big.
His eyebrows are so bushy that you can't even see his eyeballs. And he's like...
So I was thinking about this But like, it's so interesting that they put a Godfather reference in these tiny baby kids movies.
Well, here's my question, Michelle. Have you ever seen The Godfather?
No, but it's hilarious.
Okay,
I
so-
still like it.
No, I appreciate the fact that you like it, even though you haven't seen The Godfather. If you you need to go watch the movie now,
Right.
just because it's literally the same scene. Like,
Oh.
it's so, like, you come here on the day of my daughter's to be wed. Like, the
Right,
entire
it's
thing.
daughter's
It is the
wedding.
same thing.
So funny.
ISO.
Daddy, you just say I said about my wedding day.
It's literally so it's so true to that reference, and very similarly it's so true to the Breaking Bad reference that it does later on in
Yes.
the movie. There
Is a Breaking Bad
There's a
reference?
Breaking Bad reference.
I've never
girl.
seen Breaking Bad. Sorry.
When they're making the
Meth.
Nightcrawler, when they're making the Nightcrawler balls, it is straight up inside of a
the
meth
Night
lab.
Howler.
Night Howlers. What did I say? Nightcrawlers?
Yeah.
You
Isn't
do
like
you.
a Nightcrawler a superhero?
Nightcrawler is an X-Men. He
Oh my
teleports.
God.
He's purple. He's
But
super
they
cool.
actually like use their names and everything. Like they use Walter and Jesse, and those are the
Yes.
names of the
Oh.
characters.
I think his name
on-
is Walter.
It's Walter.
'cause
Yes,
he's a ram.
Wolter.
Walter.
But-
Oh, that's hilarious.
And they use the names. They're in the lab. They look like they're wearing the same outfits: the
Mhm.
yellow jumpsuit, the mask. They do.
Oh, that's funny.
And those are both very adult references.
Very adult.
Godfather be killing people. The other one be
They be killing
killing
people
too.
And I mean, there's lots of like technology references in this movie too. Like they have iPhones that have carrots on them.
Right. It's a
And
it's
there
a
was
carrot phone.
a Zuber.
That's right.
A Zuber?
It said Zuber. What was the tagline? It said like migration is just a paw print away or something like that.
And my favorite thing was the scene at the end too, where Shakira Gazelle is singing with the backup tigers. There's like everyone's dancing in the audience, but you can see some of the really tall ones in the back like have their phones and they're recording it. It's so funny.
There's also like the iPod.
The
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 iPod.
iPod
Yeah, it's an iPod.
because it's PAW.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
yeah.
hilarious.
That's amazing.
And then what are those movies? They're like buying movies off the black market or something.
Oh yeah, they have
And it has
Meowana
all those references.
and what was another one?
Din Din.
Din Din.
Din.
again. He's bringing up the Din Din reference.
Nobody asked
Okay,
about it, so we're not
So they
talking
have
about it.
Wrangled, which was supposed to be Tangled, but it has
Wrangled.
Max as Max was the name of the horse. The
Meowana.
Meowana,
Meowana.
which it's funny because Moana hadn't come out yet,
Right.
And he even
Yeah.
says that I even have stuff that hasn't come out yet. They had a Frozen reference. They had
Wreck-It Rhino.
Wreck-It Rhino, with the rhino from the police force on the front, which
Oh,
is
is it?
absolutely
Oh,
hilarious.
hilarious.
I actually read somewhere that they had a writer come in and his whole job was to make all of these references for the movie. So
that's
like
No
interesting.
way.
when you're in Little Rodentia, it's not Macy's, it's Mousie's.
That's right.
And like the big donut is the big apple. So all of those things, his job was to come up with all those absolutely hilarious
Oh
things.
my God, I
One
want
of
that
my
job so
favorite
bad.
I know, like how do I get that job? One of my favorite things of the whole movie is when, Judy, she comes home from her really crappy day and her parents are FaceTiming her, right?
That's right.
But it's muzzle timing instead of
Yes,
FaceTiming.
not FaceTime.
And it's just like these little tiny references
Also,
that are so funny.
her on her cell phone. So there's a carrot on the back, right? But then instead of AT&T, she has PB&J. That's her cell network.
PB&J?
Yes.
Why? Carrots don't eat peanut butter and jelly.
I mean, it's just a cute little snack, I
That's
guess. I don't know.
And then also
snack-
too
always snacking.
the references that this writer was brought in to rewrite
Mhm.
on her iPod. It says the artists that are listed there is like Destiny's Cub.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, Destiny's Cub.
Instead of Destiny's
Oh
Child.
my goodness.
And then there's U2. I'm not sure what kind of animal that is.
A U? It's like a...
And then there's Fleetwood Yak, the Beagles, Katy Perry,
The Beagles.
and Fur Fighters.
That's
was pretty
hilarious.
awesome.
Fighters is great.
Well, and it's extra funny too because when she goes into Gazelle, she goes into Gazelle's playlist. The songs that are on there are "Try Everything," which is the one she sings. But she also has on there "Let It Goat," "Part of Your Wool," "Can You Feel the Fluff Tonight," and "Ara Bunny Nights." instead of Arabian.
Oh
But
my
some of
god!
the
Why
other
did I
ones-
never notice that?
Oh, it's like it goes by so
Oh yeah, it goes by so fast. Yeah, that's hilarious though.
But she also has McJaguar on there and Canine West. So you never know who you're gonna get. In
So
Zootopia.
in other words, that guy had the most fun job
Right.
making all those references.
So much fun. Oh my
I
god.
like the scene too where Judy Hopps is talking to the chief Bogo, and he's like, "You can't waltz in here, sing a song, and everything's gonna come up happy. So just let it go."
That's right.
So that's why I like Zootopia, because they diss on Frozen. Not that I dislike Frozen. I did sit through the 20-minute Olaf's Frozen Adventure short before we saw Coco.
That's right.
But
We'll talk about that another time.
Let it
I
go.
suppose. Let it go.
Let it go. Ba 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 ba. That's what goats say, right?
Yeah. Anyway, what were we about?
I also read a fun fact that there's 64 different species of animals in this movie.
Only 64?
Well, that's a lot. Did you
Seems like they
did
could've popped
you
a couple
travel
more
to
in there.
Africa like how they did to like research animals and what they're supposed to look like?
They could have thrown some more in there.
I did say at one point, where's the dog? Like, there's no dogs besides like wolves, but I think it's because they're basically all exotic animals, except a bunny's not that exotic to me. And then, so this is the part I was confused about. So they live in peace now, predator and prey, which means I'm assuming they don't eat each other. The reason there's no chickens in this movie is because they're probably still eating all the chickens. Are they all vegetarians? Or are they eating the chickens? That's why you never saw chicken.
I didn't see any chickens. I feel like I didn't see any like lizards or
No turkeys.
or non
No birds. There was no
mammals.
birds.
No.
So they're
no
eating
birds. No lizards or what are lizards called? Snakes or anything like that? Reptiles.
So
Goodness
that's what they
gracious.
eat.
No amphibians, and no no dogs and cats. No domesticated animals.
Yeah, because they don't keep pets when they are animals. I get that. But I'm just saying, what do they eat? Are they all vegetarians because now they live in peace?
Well, Judy eats a carrot for one.
Yeah, because she's a bunny.
Carrot for one, it was so sad.
It was this
But you know what? You can't
stinkiest
say
little
that because
carrot.
animals do have pets. Mickey Mouse has a pet, and that's just
That's
tons
true.
of problematic.
Very true.
So I don't know why they don't have dogs and cats. I think it is because it's more of an exotic thing.
yeah.
Because
Yeah, because it's like the tundra and the Sahara and the
Ice.
rainforest. That's
Yeah.
tundra.
Yeah.
Tundra's chilly.
Chile.
I tried to trick Andre. I was like, "You would want to move to the tundra, right?" And he was like, "Yeah, no, that's cold."
Nah.
I wouldn't mind the rainforest. The rainforest looks
Too
cool.
wet.
Too wet. You can't see the sun.
Trying to hang out.
You
in
know what's brutal though?
desert.
Okay, and I was thinking this when they go through the police force academy, and the lady that's training them's like, "You have to be all terrain." Something. If you think about it, they said there's like 9 different terrains.
Right.
I can barely survive in California. How am I would die. I would die for
If
sure.
you were an animal cop,
Yes, I would. If I was a human cop too.
Zootopia. Oh well, yeah.
No, if you were a human cop, you would die. But if you're an animal cop, you wouldn't because you'd adapt.
You'd adapt.
I wouldn't. I'd be too cold.
Ooh,
No
here's a
tundra.
question: what kind of animal would you be if you lived in Zootopia?
I would be the hippie camel thingy that ran
The naked one?
Naturalist Club. Because I bet you he goes to Coachella. He goes to raves.
He was.
No, he does not go to raves.
I'd be the yoga instructor elephant.
She'd be Nangi. She would definitely be Nangi.
Nangi.
But
Nangi.
no, you cannot be the wildebeest. That thing was disgusting.
I'll be
it,
Nangi then.
Shook its head, the
Yeah.
yucky thing, and then all the flies came out. That's what you want to be?
Oh, I was just saying it because it was
That-
funny. I was
That
being
dude
sarcastic.
he's naked all the time, but he hasn't showered in like a year.
It's funny to me that
4
the
years.
little Otterton thing went to the Naturalist Club because I
I
didn't
know.
picture
Right?
that at all.
He wore glasses. And a-
He wore
You think he takes the
glasses.
glasses off when he goes to the naturalist club?
yeah.
Nah,
I
he's
don't
gotta-
know.
Go to a
He's got to be
naturalist
able
club.
to
I
see
wear
all the
glasses.
glory.
No, he wears a cable knit sweater.
But it would be fun to be like a mouse too because they have their like own little tiny town.
yeah, the little rodentia was cute.
Little Rodentia was cool, and it makes me wonder if there were like, do you think there are like big parts of the city for like the elephants and stuff
There
like
has to
that?
be.
Oh, for
Well,
sure.
Think about the jumbo
The jumbo pops.
pops.
Oh right, yeah.
The elephants. ice cream parlor was huge.
Yeah.
And when all the other animals went in there, they looked like literally miniature.
And
So
there was
tiny.
like the acai smoothie bar where it shot the smoothies up
Oh my
all the
God,
way to the
yes.
giraffe.
That's
And like
right.
the giraffe's car was like, it fit his neck.
Right.
His neck didn't have to go out the sunroof like I was assuming.
Didn't have to be
so.
all crooked in there.
I was telling Andre I wouldn't mind living in the bunny town, but he's like, no, we gotta live in Zootopia, city center.
There's a bunny town.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
you're
where
She's
talking
from
about-
Bunny
Judy's family is
Town.
from.
Is that what the name of the bunny burrow?
Bunny Burrow.
Okay.
Bunny
Bunny
town. I'm
Burrow.
like, where in Zootopia is there a bunny town?
Gideon.
There's no
Gray.
bunny town there.
Gideon Gray.
None. All the bunny towns are non-existent.
Did you hate Gideon Gray in this movie?
No, I didn't. He was actually kind of funny.
At the end with his pie.
Yeah, he was great because he was a little bully, little crappy bully kid when he was a kid, and then
No. This is it. This is the line of the entire movie. You even said so. It's in our DNA.
Regina Ardena.
Ardena.
I'm pretty sure it is DNA. Don't correct me. Don't tell me what I know, Travis.
See, I think it's funny when
Dunna.
at the end he's like, I'm sorry for the things I did when I was young. I just had a lot of anger in me that I was taken out on, and then it was like something super psychological. I was
Yeah,
like,
his-
okay, someone went to
His
counseling.
little apology was great. That dude has definitely been to therapy.
Yeah, I love that.
Dunna.
Okay, I have another question. So the night howlers is a poisonous plant. Then why were they selling it at the store?
No. It was not a poisonous plant being sold at the store. It was used. The onions were a part of it, right?
No,
Right.
those weren't onions.
It was. So like, there's the onion.
So the
and
bulbs aren't poisonous. They were just gonna eat the bulbs.
Well, okay. So there's an onion, right? And there's the bulb is like the onion part, and then the top of it is what the night howler is, right?
No, it's not an onion. It doesn't grow out of an onion.
You know what? I think
It's a flower.
no. You may be onto something. If those two plants are identical, then the crook should have gone crazy because he touched him, and the whole.
But
thing
I
with
don't.
the
I don't think
children-
it's. I don't think it's just touching them. I think it's ingesting them. Although no, because they're
'cause
just
the
getting shot with
children-
them.
the
No, it
children
just
were
has to hit them.
impeded- The children were impeded to run through those night howlers by
And then
the
that
dad
happened, yeah.
because
Right.
they would go crazy. So I don't know what happened there.
All I'm saying is, how could they sell these crazy poisonous plants and nobody knew it was poisonous?
See, I think they. Thinking back on it, I mean,
Plot hole.
I don't think they
yeah,
knew.
I
That's
think
the
there's a
only
plot
thing
hole
that
there.
confused me.
It was the flower part. Not
But
the
it's not
bulb.
an onion.
It's not an onion.
No.
Yeah, but so did they just eat the bulb, and that's why they were selling just the bulbs?
Yeah, that's what an
No,
onion
the
is.
the bulb part is separate.
It's food.
Yeah.
Right.
But they didn't know that if you actually let it grow into a flower, that is poisonous.
Apparently not.
So you can eat the bulb.
Well, it's
Probably.
like it's like a banana peel, right? You don't eat the banana peel. I have no
That's
idea if
poisonous.
a banana
Yeah,
peel
that'll
is poisonous.
Kill you.
It is?
No.
Oh.
But it could be, right? Because we don't eat it. We don't know.
But I will tell you that the name of the shop that they bought those moldy grade A botanicals, whatever she said, bulbs, was called Flora and Faunas.
I saw that.
Did
That's
you
right.
see that? And those are the name of is the name of two of the three
Merriweather.
sisters. Yes. In Sleeping Beauty, which I thought was really cool.
You know how I know that? We just talked about this yesterday because I was telling Andre I want to adopt another dog. And he said, no. But at the adoption shop right now, there's 3 little girls, and they're half Dachshund, half Chihuahua, and their names are Flora, Fauna, and Merriweather. And I want Merriweather.
And I
Oh,
told her we can't get Merriweather because we can't break up the 3 dogs.
Sucks to suck.
Bleh,
Sucks to
bleh.
suck.
You don't need 4 dogs.
Oh,
You just went from 1 to 4.
God almighty.
real quick.
Douglas is a good dog. Okay.
So I'm just going to throw out there some of the other things that I saw and I found on the thing.
Mhm.
I don't know if you were really paying attention to like what Judy wore when she left Bunny Burrow the first time. This isn't really like a, what do you call it? It's
An
not really
Easter
an
egg.
Easter egg, but it is attention to detail. She was wearing yoga pants, like
Okay.
legitimate yoga pants, a slouchy shirt off the
She had, like, a
shoulder.
Fitbit on?
She had a Fitbit on.
Right.
Her earbuds, literally, this is so beautiful. Her earbuds went all the way up into the top of her little tiny ears, right?
Oh.
Because
They
a lot of
did?
times, like, did you guys ever see the meme with Arthur, like from our childhood?
Oh, right.
And he's wearing the
Oh,
headphones, and
yeah.
his ears are on the top of his head.
So he's
And
not
the
even
headphones
listening.
are on the side of his head, like
Hilarious.
not even anywhere near his ears. Like, just the attention to detail on this thing is fantastic. We talked about
Yes.
the iPhone Carrot, the
Yes.
Carrot phone. You said the PB&J instead of AT&T. I thought that was hilarious.
That was so good.
There's a hidden Mickey, like a very specific hidden Mickey head on Clawhauser, the cat.
The chubby,
oh my gosh, donut loving,
he's so funny,
cheetah cat thing.
Luis, do you like Clawhauser?
No.
I figured his voice sounds like Olaf.
Yeah, if it's a fun character, Luis doesn't like it. But there's a hidden Mickey on when you're looking at him, it's on the left side of his face, so it's really the right side of his face.
It's like on his cheek.
Yes, so there's a hidden Mickey on there. Also, when you see Nick rolling down the street with Fennec Fox in the stroller, he actually has a plush Mickey Mouse in the stroller with him. And it's actually Mickey Mouse. It's not just like a head. So that's really cool, too, to see the different little things that they throw into this movie on top of all of the more, really obvious ones.
Right. That's amazing.
Ooh, I have a fun fact. Okay, so this is funny. You know the gazelle thing, and then Clawhauser like puts himself on the app, and she's like, "You're doing great," and it's like him, and he's one of the tigers, and he's like dancing with her, and then Chief Bogo does it too. That's like a real thing you can do on your phone, and like you can put your own face on top of the tiger and like be dancing.
Like
with
you can
it.
like download the Gazelle app.
Yeah, I don't think it's an app. I'm not sure, but I looked it up, and like you can actually do that. See, look, people put their faces on it. I'm on the internet, and I'm like, so we need to put Luis's face on a tiger, and he can dance with Gazelle.
No, I don't think you should do that. It's not in my dunna to be able to do that.
We definitely gotta do it now.
God. He just said dunna.
Okay, well, since Luis is like being so, let's move on to the part of the show. Just kidding, it's everyone's favorite part of the show. His versus battle.
Dun 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 dun.
Luis's battle.
Dun dun.
All right, ladies and gents.
Y'all,
I was saying dunna.
please.
Dunna.
Da-na, na-na, da-na-na, na-na-na.
This is all.
The baby didn't like it.
No.
Okay,
So,
what's your battle, Luis?
This is our battle for this week. Who is a better weasel? Duke Weselton, the con artist in Zootopia, or the Duke from Frozen?
So that's a fun little fact that we haven't mentioned yet.
Wait, they're both named Duke Weselton?
The Duke of Weselton from Frozen is voiced by the same actor as
and they're both
Duke
named Duke Weselton and
yes.
Duke Weselton?
They're both voiced
and they
by
make
Alan.
a joke about that in Frozen?
By Alan Tudyk, yes.
So one is the Duke of Weselton, and one is his first name is Duke Weselton. So it's a little bit different, but legitimately voiced by the same person, and they totally make fun of that in the movie.
It's very cool.
It's voiced by the guy from...
Why didn't I know this?
Knight's Tale, who's like... It's called Alance.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So what's the question
He's
again?
also in Rogue One. He's K2SO.
Yeah. Who is more of a weasel?
Oh, who's more weaselly?
Weaselton or the Duke of Weselton?
I gotta think.
Because, I mean, if you think about it, they both kind of, besides one physically being a weasel,
right?
The other one shows a lot of weasel-esque.
Weasel tendencies.
When I think of a weasel, like, I think a weasel's kind of creepy. It's like, ugh, a weasel. And it's like a trickster, like a weasel trickster.
Right.
And in Zootopia, the weasel did steal stuff, and he didn't want to get iced, and he was wearing a wife beater, which is pretty weaselly. But... already, I think my vote is going to go for the Duke of Weselton. Because Weselton. The one from Frozen. Because he was real weaselly. Like, Weselton. And then when he does his dance and his wig falls off. And,
oh, my God.
And he was trying to kill people. That's a lot more weaselly than if some weasel stealing some flowers. I'm going with the Frozen Weselton.
Weselton, that's interesting. You know what? It's funny because, like, I'm remembering the character more from the Frozen show at Disneyland because they have a guy. It's like a young black guy who, like, he has like a really big poof of hair that like flips and flops all around, and he's extremely charismatic in the show, so much so that I can barely even remember the Duke of Weselton from the Frozen movie. So I think
Really? We only saw that once.
I know, but he left such an impact on me.
I agree. I like the version of Weselton in the show much better than
his
the one
characterization
in the movie.
is
He's
different,
funny.
and he's very funny
And likable.
Yes.
Like he's a bad guy for sure, but he's funny, likable bad guy versus like in the movie where you're just like, oh my God, I just want to punch this guy through the screen.
Yeah. It's very interesting. So my choice is Duke of Weselton from the Frozen show at Disneyland. That's the more Weasley guy. But if you haven't seen that, I guess I'll choose Duke Weaselton because he is an actual weasel. I think that makes him all weaselly. Kind of a trifecta vote from
Just because
from
he's
me.
a weasel doesn't mean he's a weasel.
Oh, he was pretty
Whoa.
Weasley trying to sell you bootleg movies that weren't even out of theaters.
That's more like
That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna go with Duke Weaselton because he got his hands on stuff that Disney hasn't even like let out yet, which I think is absolutely hilarious because I've had cast member friends before who have straight up told me like if you have insider knowledge about something that's coming to the park and you blab, you can get like fired because Disney's so serious about keeping their stuff under wraps, right? They like the surprise, they like the magic. Same thing with the movies. So I think it's hilarious that they poked fun at the fact that there was like almost like a spoiler coming out about Moana and it hadn't even come out yet. Like that is absolutely fabulous.
That's right. I completely agree.
There was one movie that Duke was selling that I've never heard of. That's why I said that's why I said Din Din, because I was trying to say like the movie Tintin.
Right.
There was some
but
kind
Tintin
of
isn't
scene.
Disney,
No,
right?
I know
Okay.
that. But there was some kind of scene where it was like a boy or something like on a mast. It wasn't Moana. It wasn't it wasn't Moana, but it was something else. So that's why I was like, what is going on?
Interesting. I might need to take a look at a picture or something like that. Try to find it. But we'll get to that later, I suppose.
Okay, so we have one vote for the Frozen, the Duke, and we have 3 votes for Duke Weaselton.
Yeah, I'll pick Duke Weaselton.
So it looks like Duke Weaselton is the one that has won this week's battle.
That's right. Dun 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 dun. Battle over. So that was battle for this week.
I think this is a pretty good segue into one of the most interesting dynamic relationships, I think, in the movie, which is between Mayor Lionheart and Assistant Mayor Bellwether.
Yes.
Smellweather.
Smellweather.
Smellweather. Get in here.
Lionheart is a lion.
Jerk.
Oh, he's also a jerk. Bellwether is a sheep.
She's a sheep. Yes.
Lamb? Sheep?
Baba.
Baba.
Baba, black sheep, have you any wool?
She's a white sheep. But the reason I bring them up is because I find it so funny that the mayor is literally the largest, like he's larger than life on screen, right? Like he's super big, just like Chief Bogo, these high power predator positions.
Yeah.
And then their assistant is little, Assistant Mayor Bellwether, who's literally the smallest little sheep, and everything in comparison to her is so big, like the files, and her office is ridiculous. Well, it's really like,
but her hair is banging. Like even Nick Wilde was like, "Oh my God, it's so fluffy."
So fluffy.
She's super cute.
But I think it's really interesting that they had those two. I think it was a great juxtaposition because they're so on opposite sides of the spectrum.
Yeah, Mayor Bellwether was animated after the Disney something Make Mine Music.
Make Mine Music.
And then Lionheart was after Mufasa.
Oh, well,
that's why his hair is so voluptuous.
Well, yes. I also read this isn't about the mayor, the system mayor, but Nick Wilde is animated after Robin Hood. Yeah.
That actually really makes sense.
Because he's a fox.
So I think it's funny when all of these predators are going primal. What do they call it?
Savage.
They're going savages.
Even human or not human at all.
Stop.
I like that song.
No, you said how much you hated that song on the Pocahontas episode.
Well, I like it now. Anyway, so
probably heard it on Pandora.
since they're
and was
going
like,
savage,
yeah.
he just kidnaps them and locks them away in an abandoned hospital.
Which I'm pretty sure was a psych hospital. It's hella creepy.
Or something like that. I don't know what it was. But
And when he gets arrested, he's like, "You don't understand. I'm savage."
Well, yeah, I think the Mayor Lionheart, he is a jerk, but I think his intentions were somewhat good in
He
that.
said
Were they?
he did say he's like, this is a classic case of doing the wrong thing for the right reasons.
Right.
Which kind of, I mean, he was trying to keep them separate from everyone else.
Yes, he locked them up to keep them out of harm's way. Honestly, to keep the
Really?
the
Is that
people
why we lock people
to
up?
keep the people of Zootopia from getting hurt, and also
But was it self-serving? Completely.
yes, it was to keep it on the hush hush, so he didn't
He didn't even tell Chief Bogo.
go out as a
He said he didn't tell no Bogo.
as the mayor.
No Bogo.
No Bogo.
No BOGO.
Uh,
Buy one get one mayor.
It's kind of crazy to me that when I first saw this movie in theater, I didn't know Bellwether was like gonna be the villain. I figured
Oh my
Lionheart
God.
would be, but I mean that's what they want you to think. So when she did like go crazy, I was like, "Girl, you crazy?"
It's so cool, so very interesting
unassuming.
because so this movie starts out where it's just like, I'm gonna be a cop. Maybe this guy will help me solve this case or whatever. And then it gets to the point where they're in that psych hospital with all the wolves howling outside, which is so funny.
Start a howl.
You're gonna start a howl.
And you discover that the mayor is behind it all, and it's like, whoa, twist. That's cool. And then it goes on to find out that the mayor didn't have that much to do with it, and it
He's
was
not
actually
smart enough to do that.
the meek little assistant mayor who is behind everything, and she literally tries to kill Judy and Nick with the night howler shot.
Which
thing.
is crazy because, like, yes, Judy Hopps says some bad things about, like, the only reason they're going savage is because they're predators. And then, like, she loses Nick Wilde's friendship. But that's exactly what Bellwether wanted her to say.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
She did some really good subliminal messages, always just looking out for this little guys. She definitely was the driving force between everything and behind everything.
Right.
And it was kind of beautiful because when you watch the movie for a second time and you go back and you really watch her like her mannerisms, what she does, how she does it, how fast she gets things done to make sure that like Judy doesn't get kicked off the police force, right?
Right.
She helps her immensely with the traffic cams and everything.
Yeah.
You're really like, ooh.
She's like,
Well, she was probably
Emperor
behind.
Palpatine.
Bellwether.
She was probably behind that, like, Small People initiative. What was the initiative called?
Primal? No.
It was about making prey in people of power.
Prey Inclusion Initiative. I don't
Something
know.
like that.
Mammal
I don't know.
inclusion.
Mammal
Yeah,
inclusion.
but her
Initiative.
whole deal is to just change the power structure
Oh,
in
100%.
Zootopia,
Well,
which
because
is really
it's
cool.
90%
90% prey, which makes sense.
It's 90% prey, but yet the predators are in positions of power. And when Judy comes out and says that, hey, predators are dangerous, it really sets the whole city on like this whole tear where the predators become persecuted just because of who they are, whereas before that was kind of what was happening to the prey. They were just like, well, you're small and little and you can't do anything.
I just think it's a really good
Predators are the minority.
I
Yes.
just think it's a really good representation of kind of what happens in our own world. And, I think we look at this movie and we're like, oh, it's Disney. It's so cute. Oh, my gosh, look, praying predators, blah, blah, blah. But if you think about it, people in power say things all the time. And just because they have that acclaim, we tend to listen to them. But that doesn't always mean, that they have the best intentions or that they're
Right.
steering you in the
Right.
right way. And I think that that's really interesting that they threw that into a Disney movie so blatantly.
Yeah.
It's not like it was just an underlying theme. It was
the
theme.
the theme of the movie, and it's so cool because like they throw in all of just like these little things that help you see that more. Like they have like little jokes where like, oh, little bunny trying to be a cop, and then Judy's like, wow, Mr. Demeaning much and stuff like that. They just call attention to the microaggressions that people who face racism and sexism and all kinds of homophobia and stuff like that face all the time in real
All
life.
the isms.
All the isms.
Which only Disney can like do that subtly and it still be like a kids movie.
Yeah, that's another part of the reason why this movie feels so smartly written. To
Like
me.
when I saw Anastasia, I was like, oh no. But when I saw this one, it wasn't okay.
We don't talk about Anastasia. It's not Disney. Oh, wait.
What?
Actually, Disney bought Fox. So
Disney
it
now.
is Disney now. Plot twist.
What's that song? Once upon a December.
Yeah, that one.
I'm going to stop everyone right there. I walk away for 2 seconds, and we're on a song that's not even classic.
Oh, fine, I'll sing. I won't give up, no, I won't give in. I can't
Why
sing
are
like
you
is
her.
turning
that
it into an R&B version of this song?
That's the
No,
Shakira
that
song?
was my Shakira voice. Oh my God. Okay.
Shakira
Okay.
voice?
So this is way. No, it's still kind of on.
Just
topic.
say it.
So the other day, Andre and I were watching something.
And
I
your
don't
hips
know.
were lying.
No, my hips don't lie. My hips don't lie. Okay. So,
Oh my
anyways,
God.
I don't know
Your
what we were
Shakira
talking
voice,
about,
though.
but I said, that. I can't stop laughing before I
I have
say it.
no idea
say
what you're
it.
about to say.
Shakira reminds me of Owen Wilson.
Oh, my God. She
What?
said... We must have been listening to a Shakira song,
What
and
the
she was like,
heck?
you know who Shakira sounds like?
Yeah, it was on the drive to Disneyland.
Owen Wilson. I was like, what
What?
are you
And then
talking
Andre
about?
did this impression. He
I
was like,
proceeded to go like, oh, yeah, it's me, Shakira. Oh, my hips, they don't lie at all. Wow. Wow, look at my hips go.
That is not
I
any-
sound just like Shakira, the pop singer.
Michelle, what? Your hips are lying right now. Stop.
she has that very like
Your hips and your lips, they be lying.
My
Your
lips
hips
don't
and
lie.
your
And that does not sound like Owen Wilson.
They both talk very throaty, okay?
Listeners, please write in and let us know if you,
You
think
just made
Owen
me
Wilson
snort on the podcast. I'm done.
sounds like Shakira.
This is what happens when Andre and I listen to oldies on the car rides. I say Shakira.
Shakira is oldies.
Oldies. Remember
Well,
way back
we
in
were-
the day, like
we were
2007?
Okay, what happened is we were listening to songs that like we listened to in middle school, and then we got way off topic.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
It was fun.
Owen Wilson?
I've always thought that Shakira and Owen Wilson sound similar. Everyone in this house is laughing. Andre had to take himself off the mic because he's laughing so hard.
Oh, my God. I've always thought that Owen Wilson and Shakira sound similar.
You know what? You could be quiet. What's your rating?
Okay.
You know what? It must be in their dunna that makes them sound alike.
Oh my gosh, Luis. Luis is trying to do a callback.
Let's see here. Ratings. Let's do some ratings.
I'm gonna give my rating first. If you say Dunna one more time, you're gonna be kicked.
Don't
Kicked out.
worry. I'm not gonna say it again.
You guys, you're lucky. There's a table between us right now, and I'm holding a baby.
And a baby.
That's looking at you. Anywho, don't kill Daddy. Don't kill Daddy. Not today. My rating is 9. Solid 9. I want to give it a 10, but you know how I feel about not giving 10s.
Right. No 10s.
I'm giving it a 9.
What about a 9.5?
I will not give it a 9.5 because I would have liked better music. Because I agree with you.
Yeah, Owen
Try
Wilson
a-
didn't make the cut.
Because Owen Wilson didn't sing in this
No.
movie. No.
They didn't make it.
The Zootopia song, it's like da na 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 do 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 da na na na. That's what it sounds like.
That sounds like The Incredibles.
Well, we'll listen to it after this, and maybe we can put a link to it or something. But the song to me sounds like the movie Rio, and I can't make a distinction. And so when I hear it, I don't think Zootopia, and that's a problem for me because Disney movies, when you hear their music, you know, literally downbeat. It is Aladdin. Downbeat, it is The Little Mermaid or whatever. And for me, the music in this movie didn't do that, but everything else was fabulous. Like, there was no plot holes for me.
Right.
There was no slow moments. Mr. Big literally makes my life. If I could have him as a little rodent pet, I would.
He would never allow that to happen.
Yes, I would ice him. I just love him. And actually, Addie's hair kind of looks like his eyebrows, so maybe that was like a blessing in disguise.
Addie.
So anywho, I will give it a 9. There you go.
Solid 9.
So, I wanna give it a 9.
But it's not top 5?
No, not top 5. With me, going back to that conversation with the night howlers and everything, and
right,
the rodent stealing
we found
the
that little
onion.
plot hole. Yeah, sure.
Like, I don't know if like the rodent stealing the onion really had anything to do with the night howler blueberry bullet thing, but it just kind of left a plot hole for me.
Well, I think he was like working with Bellwether and her Breaking Bad associates to like get the materials for the night howler bullets or whatever. But it still isn't completely clear, and I might have to go back and rewatch it.
It's called a hustle, sweetheart.
To figure that out.
Or maybe it wasn't affecting him because, his Dunna gave him some immunity.
Oh, you better be
Emily
happy
walked
White's
away.
in the other room. She heard you, too. She said, what? Dun, dun, dun.
But yeah, I'll stick with a 9.0.
9.0.
Very good.
Michelle?
I am also going to give this movie a 9.0.
9.0.
This is a solid A movie. Amazing. I'm almost not giving it a 9.5 for the same reason as Emily, because like there wasn't any super good music in it. But the storyline is great. The characters are great. It's a very unexpected movie than what you thought it was going to be. I'm giving it a 9.
Yeah. I agree with all that. Although the music I didn't find as as bad or as not great as you guys did. So I'm going to give this movie a 9.5. It is.
Darn it, we almost had a sweep.
Yeah, we almost had a sweep. I had to go in there and shake it up.
Shake it up.
I feel good about 9.5. This movie really spoke to me because of its crime plot and its hilarious characters and its theme of quash your prejudices and stuff like that. All that really spoke to me, and it worked out really well as a complete package in this movie. I think the only reason that I haven't watched this like a million times is just because I kind of forgot about it when it came out on DVD or whatever, and I'm probably going to spend the next couple of years watching it a bunch of times because it's fantastic.
Super good.
A+.
Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, and Happy Holidays. Can I get a drum roll for the very first movie of 2018 is The Lion King. Pink pajamas, penguins on the bottom.
All right. So, yes, we'll be doing The Lion King for our very first movie of 2018, January 1st. So check that out. You guys.
Have a Merry Christmas.
Yes, have a very Merry Christmas. And don't forget to share our podcast with your family. That would be very appreciated by us. Follow us on Instagram and all other social media. We're at the Walt Pod. Check us out on YouTube and Stitcher and Google Play and all the places that I post this podcast. We are on iTunes. If you could leave us a review there, in addition to telling your family about us, that would be fantastic. Give us a rating. Tell us you love us, because we love you. That is it for this week on the Walt Vault. The Vault is